Live at 9 with me, Doug Harris, and my special guest tonight is Bishop Curtis Earthquake Kelly. Well, that earthquake, I've been calling him hurricane and goodness knows what else, tsunami. So whatever I call you, Curtis, please forgive me.
That's all
but
right.
It's officially earthquake. Pastor, evangelist, former heavyweight boxer with a tremendous testimony, which I hope we'll be able to draw out tonight and share with you to really encourage and help you where you are tonight. So sit back for the next hour and enjoy it with us. So Curtis, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you, thank you,
Really
brother
enjoyed
Doug.
it. I guess the first question I've got to ask you is this title Earthquake, did you get it for your preaching or for your boxing?
Well, sort of both. Yeah, sort of both. I mean, when I was 3 years old, I had this dream. In this dream, I was looking out the window, and I saw the ground shaking, and there was a lot of chaos and destruction, and the ground opened up and swallowed up some people, and it closed back up. And a voice says, "Because of you, the ground is shaking. Because of you, the ground is broken." Right. And I woke up, you know, I was terrified.
Yeah,
and the next night I had the same dream, and the voice said, "Because of you, the ground is shaking. Because of you, the ground is broken." And I didn't know what it was as a child, but when I became a heavyweight fighter, and I was trying out for the Olympics back in Los Angeles, and this guy I was fighting against, he was out of Long Beach, California. He had these arms like Popeye in the front, and he was tagging me pretty good, you know, and so I just prayed. I said, "God, this guy's getting the best of me," and I closed my eyes, and I threw a quick jab, and I locked it and hit him right here in the glabella. You know, they say ring your bell, and knocked him down to the floor. And to my surprise, this sports caster was saying, "Man, that guy hits like an earthquake." Yeah. So that's why
that's where you got it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine your preaching is pretty dynamic as well these days.
God be the glory.
But let's go back to the beginning, Curtis, because you've had a very, let me put it this way, interesting childhood growing up, and you're a real trophy of grace. But I think you had a lot of experience of voodoo from your family. Can you tell us a little bit of what that was like growing up in that atmosphere?
It's scary. It was horrible. It was tormenting, Doug. My father's side of the family, I traced it all the way back to Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And as you know, some parts, not all of Haiti, but some parts of Haiti has been known for voodoo. And my father told me once, he said that you have a special gift and you're going to be developed to work for Papa Doc Duvalier in the palace there in Haiti. And of course, I didn't understand what he's talking about. I was only like 5 years old. And there's a lady that came to our house, and she moved in from time to time, and she was teaching me a lot of stuff about voodoo, and she said that you're being prepared to work in the palace with Papa Doc. And she would show me some things, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things about voodoos, about spells, about mind control, about manipulation, about traveling through walls and putting fire in your hand and not being burned, and throw your hand through glass. And she was showing me all of these things. And then I was even talk to evil spirits sometimes at night. For 11 years straight, I only had 2 hours of sleep. And I learned many, 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 many things about voodoo, to where I became even a witch doctor myself, could cast spells on people and cause things to happen. And it was a horrible, horrible childhood. Actually, I never had really much of a childhood because it was always taken up with voodoo or doing this or that and the other for somebody else.
I mean, some of our viewers will be sitting there and say, come on, now, what's this guy on about? Yeah. But, I mean, it was very real, wasn't it? I mean, I think sometimes here in the West, we don't think quite so much about that. We think, oh, it's all in the mind, or, you know, I've had several people say that to us. But, I mean, these things are reality. You can do these supernatural things with this supernatural evil power, can't you?
Yeah, because when Moses first was commissioned by God to go down and to talk to Pharaoh, there was two men who opposed him. I think it's Jambres and the other guy.
Yeah.
And you know what happened with they threw the rod down, and his became a snake, and of course the one that Moses threw down swallowed up the ones that they do down. But see, what a lot of people understand, back in those days prior to Moses getting there, many of the wars that were won by Egypt were won because they practiced witchcraft on their enemy.
Yes. Yeah.
They controlled them, okay? They did all kinds of things, like they put power nocturnus, they put incubus, succubus, they put all of these things to weaken their enemy so you can get the victory over them, because the enemy didn't practice those type of magic, okay? So they didn't have any knowledge of it, and they were defeated because of that. So they figured when they come along Moses, so who is this Moses guy? You know, we're going to do the same thing to you, but the greatest one that's inside of us, than what's in the world, swallowed up that. So this stuff is very real. Yeah. It's very real, and I know about it. I grew up around it, in it, and it's real.
When you were growing up around it, were you fearful of it, or did you feel you were in control because of the way you were taught?
Half and half. When you see a lot of these spirits, Doug, that are real, and you know you can command them to do certain things, and they do it. And then there's some that can be conjured up that are so fierce that it just makes the, you know, having the hair in my head right now, but it make your hair do like this. Yeah, if I did have some hair, you know, like that. They're real. It makes you feel like you're in control because they tell you that you're in control, but actually you're not. They're manipulating you because they want to get your soul into hell. Mm-hmm. So they'll give you any and everything you want to trick you and destroy you because they want to get that soul. Mm-hmm. See, they don't mind giving you what you want. There's different levels of it too. Yeah. See, there's different levels, and the higher you go up, the more quicker you will be to losing your life and your soul. Mm-hmm.
How did this sort of affect you? I mean, most children, you know, grow up through into teenage years, and you know, they've had certain things, certain experiences. But it seems to me that you were so steeped in this whole occultic realm must have really affected your outlook on life, your outlook on God, your outlook. I mean, was that all? Did that totally take you over at that period of time?
Unfortunately, yes. Yes, it did, because I was called crazy, you know, and a lot of people, they wouldn't bother me. Or, I mean, one time I was walking down the street, Doug, and this man, he saw me coming, and he was hollering, "Here comes that crazy kid. Here he comes. Take your children." And I mean, everybody that had a child grabbed their child and ran in the house, and I was left out there by myself. Ooh. And I said, I must really be bad if everybody runs in the house when I come. I mean, the parents would take their children and run. And it did have an effect on me. It did have an effect, because you feel like you can't be beat, you know. And if you wanted to send fire to somebody's house, all you had to do was speak it. You know, if you wanted to turn somebody's car over if they got on your nerves, you know, and all you have to do is speak certain things, because the lady that was practicing, and she taught me what to do. She said you can rule between her and my father. They said you can rule and control these streets if you know how to manipulate stuff in a certain realm, the astral lineage, called the astral lineage line, which is it's a system that works invisible, and the ones that's involved in it know how to operate, but the regular citizens that are not involved, they don't know what to do or how to counter it, you know. And at that time, Christians were the enemy. You know, they were the enemy. I even tried to put a curse upon two certain young men that used to hang with me in the streets, and they went to a revival meeting and they got saved. And I said, how dare they leave me out here in the streets like this? So I took a little imp, little spirit, and I sent it after them to destroy them. And the spirit came back to me and he said, we can't do anything. And I sent that little spirit back, and I said, I tell you to go there and destroy them. And they came back again. And they said, we can't do anything. So I did what's called astral project, where you come out of your body. And so I came out of my body. People may not believe, but this stuff is real, you know. And I went and I looked, and when I got there, I saw these two big, giant angels.